Here I am back in prison stripes. So my followers sometimes will say, "What's up with the stripes?" And I never thought about it until I looked in my closet and realized I do gravitate towards stripes. But I didn't ever wear stripes in prison. I wore khakis. The only time I wore stripes was when I was first booked into a county jail, and I'll share the picture at the end. It was one of the saddest days for me. I just felt so defeated. I think before I went to prison, I just wasn't able to hear or accept that I was going to go to prison. I remember having a conversation with my attorney, and my attorney just explained to me that when you're dealing with the federal system, you're going to go to prison. And the best that he could do would be to try to get me the best bargain. And he was thinking 5 years. And I just wasn't willing to hear it. I wasn't prepared to hear it. I couldn't imagine how I was going to survive being away from my family. And I remember being so angry and frustrated. I told my husband, they aren't even trying to see that I'm innocent. They're not looking at the case. And now on the other side of it, I can see that he was right. And I just wasn't willing to hear the truth. So I did that week in the county jail, and it changed my view. It really did. I realized that I was going to need to plead guilty, that I was going to be leaving my family, and my life was not going to be the same. And I remember when I left, one of the girls in the pod, you get really close to people when you go through something hard like that. It changes you. And I felt very vulnerable. And I remember her telling me that I was strong and I was going to be okay. And this girl had lost her children to foster care. And I remember giving her a hug and saying, "What do you have to fight for?" And she said, "I'm fighting to become someone they can be proud of when they meet me someday." And that always stuck with me when I was in prison. And I saw, 6 months later, I ended up going to prison and was sentenced to 7 years. I did 5. And the women that I met, I realized they were all fighting to become someone that their children could be proud of someday.